What is going on, everybody? So today's video is going to be something a little bit different. So I was actually going to do this idea regardless. You know, I was actually in the thoughts of doing it, just making out my list. But the decor and the getup is actually inspired from Toon's review. So Tim, how's it going? Thank you for inspiring me. But you know what? I'm not as classy as Timmy and everything, but I did have to have my sweater, and forget the tea. We're going to have some Coke Zero, a little bit of the bubbly. Very bubbly. We gotta be sophisticated somehow, don't we? So let's be honest and let's be real. I've been doing this for 6 years. No, I'm not going anywhere just yet, but in time, I will. Everybody's got their days. But out of the 6 years that I've been doing this, from reviewers past to present, nobody has met anybody more than I have in person. I have collabed with a lot of people. Now, I made a list of people as to who I met and how many I've worked with. And I counted 41 people that I've met in person, and 39 of those people I have done videos with, or just have worked with in some manner. Some of those videos, however, are not up anymore just because the quality was so bad. Probably the quality of this video is probably going to be bad. But I decided to give a little bit of positivity back to the community. You know, like, I find that the community kind of goes in waves, has its cycles. Very positive and loving, and then one moment it's negative and pessimistic another. Kind of keeps going like that, right? So I'm not exactly the most positive guy, a little bit jaded, cynical, but I have said that many times. Very sarcastic, very self-deprecating. Sometimes that rubs people the wrong way. Right on. But with today's video, this is going to be the top 5 reviewers that I've met that meant the most to me, the most meaningful. Okay, this is in no particular order, so I'm going to be kissing ass a little bit. Some people say, Chad, you're brown nosing. I wish I had some brown paint or something right now, just, you know. So the first person that I'm going to talk about in this video is Robes Await. So Mark and I, we have a lot in common. Well, I wouldn't say a lot in common. Besides fragrances, we have one more thing in common. We're actually from small hick town in Northern Ontario. We're both French Canadian, so I guess that's another thing that we have in common, but his French is way better than mine, let me tell you. I met Mark back in the spring of 2015. Gonna be meeting him in a couple days again. Haven't seen him in over 3 years. So with Mark, it meant the world to me when I met Mark, just because he is the guru. He is one of the founding fathers, if you want to say, of this community. He's one of the oldest guys that's still doing this. There's a lot of guys that have come and gone. Mark has been here from the start and is still here. So when I went up to see Mark, he gave me the time of day. We met at, what restaurant was that? It doesn't matter. But I was super stoked. I went with my then girlfriend, who is now my wife, the leader, the boss lady, and I was so excited. I'm one to kind of have a chip on the shoulder and kind of want to hide his feelings and emotions. For the most part, trust me. In my personal life, I really am. But with Mark, I was super excited and stoked because, again, he was the top guy. He was the guru, you know, and it meant the world to me that Mark is just an everyday schmuck like myself, and we just talked about fragrances, we talked about other things. Unfortunately, he's a Habs fan, a Montreal Canadiens fan, and gotta rep the Leafs, even though they got booted out of the playoffs last night thanks to Boston. But hey, that's Toronto Maple Leafs for you. They always choke. But with Mark, he's also very sarcastic and he's also very down to earth, you know. But Mark is certainly a family man, where family comes first, you know. I think a lot of us, a lot of the reviewers for the most part, sometimes this hobby, this YouTube bit, really does get the best of us, really controls us. You know, sometimes we feel like we gotta do a video. What's our next release, you know? I'm certainly that way, and I know that a lot of the other people are like that too. And I've had this discussion with Mark where I've kind of felt like quitting and being discouraged and everything. And I've had this discussion with Mark where he says, maybe it's time to take a break and take a step back and focus on the other things, which I've done. Haven't done that in 3 years, but I'm in a better place, mind you, than I was 3 years ago. So Mark is definitely one that really does mean a lot to me, and one of the most meaningful guys that I've met. Second guy, let's just say it, Jeremy Fragrance. I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, why in the hell, or sorry, let me rephrase that. Why in the fuck are you saying Jeremy Fragrance? Well, because it's Jeremy. Jeremy is the top guy. Jeremy is the trendsetter in this community. I was a big fan of his from the start. Don't really watch his videos anymore. Mind you, I don't watch a lot of people's videos, whether it's the newcomers or the old guys. I kind of come and go in this community, this hobby. So I still love doing what I'm doing, but you know, when it comes to fragrances, there are other things that, when it comes to YouTube, that I like watching. But with Jeremy, I was super stoked. I met him at Menfluential in 2018, and I was expecting, you know, cocky, arrogant, flamboyant, you know, just, I'm king shit. Jeremy was extremely down to earth with me, very approachable. He actually saw me first and he called out my name. So he's the one who hugged me. I stuck out my hand to shake his, but he actually hugged me. So, hey, but I am huggable. Mind you, I'm also very cushiony and very fat. But with Jeremy doesn't really collab with anybody in the fragrance community, but he did with me. That video that I did with him unfortunately didn't turn out, and I did delete it, like delete other ones that I did with him. That video meant the world to me. You know, we did Ferragamo's Vendimia. Was it Ferragamo's Vendimia? Or was it Ferragamo's Convivio? One or the other. I plugged the mic in the wrong port and it was just mute. There was no sound. I was utterly devastated and pissed off with myself when I realized that. But right now, Jeremy's doing his thing. Congratulations. Haven't smelled fragrance 1 yet, but I will in a few weeks when my friend, he bought a bottle. Damn, that was a lot of money he spent. So hopefully it turns out well. And Jeremy, more success to you. Third guy. This guy is an old school guy. He's been around for a long time. He's from New York. Al from Street Sense. Al's one of those guys where I could respect that. That's his catchphrase. But I could respect that. I met Al January of 2015 at the Creed Boutique. I was visiting New York. There was some guys that, whenever I go to New York, that's when the guys tend to meet up. Like, why in the hell do I gotta go down to New York City for you guys to get together for the most part? Like, you know, that's some crazy ass bullshit, man. But I was actually in Creed and I saw Al on the outside, and oh my god. I was very excited because Al's one of those old guys that are still doing his thing. He's not really putting out videos like he once did, but that's okay. He's still doing whenever he can, but family life, personal life comes first. I know what he does for a living. I know what his background is. I always thought that Al was Latino. Latino, I swear to God, because he kind of looks Latino and he's got that New York swag thing going. The first video that we did was Hugo Boss, Silk and Jasmine. I'm gonna link that link down below just in case you wish to check that out. But I was excited. You could tell that I was super happy and very excited in that video. That my emotions were coming out, you know, because I'm working with one of the OGs. And I met Al before I met Mark. So I was very excited to meet Mark, but Al was the first person I ever met in this community was Red Lessons, Steven. That was at Mid New York. That was October or November 2013. But Al was the first big timer that I did a video with, and shit, it meant the world to me. And when I first started doing this YouTube bit, Al gave me a shout out where I finally passed 100 subscribers. Now I'm at 11,000. Man, some of these newcomers are doing way better than I am. Possibly could because they don't do bullshit videos like this. But Al, you know what, I respect that. You gotta come to Toronto, my man, because you know New York is super expensive. Love New York City, but oh god damn, man, I'm married, I'm broke, I don't work any overtime now because you know I got dual income, so I don't need to. And mind you, the wife just doesn't want me to work any more overtime. She wants me to spend more time with her. But I will certainly go down to New York City. I just don't know when. But Al, you gotta come up, and when you do come up, you got a place to stay. Fourth guy, let's go with another old timer. I think everybody in this video is pretty much an old timer except for Jeremy. Jeremy is probably like the newest guy in this list. But Daver, Fragrance Bros. Meeting Dave meant a lot to me. I was watching Dave from the moment I discovered the YouTube fragrance community. You know, that was like, oh god, I don't know, like winter of 2010. There was 3 original Fragrance Bros. I forget the original gentleman's name. He left, then it was just him and Jer. And then Jer left, and then Daver became the one-man show. But I've seen the progression from Dave over the years, and when I met Dave, I was overjoyed, very excited. Met him at Menfluential in 2017. Fortunately, I didn't go this past year. Just my heart really wasn't into it. But having the opportunity to speak on the fragrance panel, and Dave asked me if I wanted to be a part of his panel, that, holy shit, meant the world to me. You know, just having the opportunity to work with him and Steven at the same time at Menfluential, for me that was the big ticket. You know, I still like Menfluential. Am I gonna go again? We'll see. I hope to, but it also depends on how that money is. But with Dave, Dave's a troll. So am I, though. I troll those that mean the most to me. Steven, Mark. Some people think that I'm a bit of a dickhead, which I can be, I'll admit that, but if I troll you, it means that I actually like you. That's how I show my love and my affection. I'm a little warped that way, but with Dave, he is a troll. He's brilliant at what he does. Not as brilliant as Joey Cannoli, however, but Dave, you'll get there. And David has big balls. You know, when he called out the biggest guy in the game, Jeremy, his fragrance army went hard at Dave, and I personally could not have dealt with that type of bullshit and negativity. So Dave, you are a lot stronger than I am when it comes to dealing with that. You know, so props to you. But Dave was certainly a guy, he's a down-to-earth guy with a messed up sense of humor, and that's probably one of the reasons why I like him so much. Last guy in this very video, because trust me, it's a pretty long video. We're at 16 minutes, but we'll see where the editing gets me. It's a little flat now. Is the pimp, the smooth talker, the playboy, Coach Rob 619. The reason why meeting Coach meant so much to me is because he was the first YouTube guy that came up to Toronto. I am always the guy, always the guy who travels New York, Chicago, London, Vancouver to see you guys, but Coach came up to Toronto and we met up. I was floored and I was beyond touched. And Rob actually stayed just up the street from where I was. He was staying at an Airbnb, and I asked him, whereabouts are you staying? You staying downtown? He's like, nah man, I'm staying in a place like Mississauga or something. I'm like, oh, that's where I live, Mississauga. And when he told me where, I'm like, yo, that's literally, I'm not making this up, 90-second drive just up the road from where I live. And I live right across Square One in Mississauga. So when I met Rob, we actually met at Mississauga, and I was like a kid in the candy store from what my wife says. I fangirl a lot. I try not to. It's not one of my proudest moments. I got this hard exterior, miserable thick skin, but you know, I'm Shrek. Get through those layers and apparently I'm a little sensitive. But when I met Rob, I saw him from a distance and he recognized, he was like, and right there I'm like, yo, that is so California. And Rob is super chill. Like, see, white people, we tend to like freak out and get stressed really easily. The brothers, not so much. And I got a lot of friends that are black and from the Caribbean. And I've asked them, what the hell is it? You know, is it just because we stress out? Like, see, black don't crack. White people, we wrinkle and we don't age very well. Let's just say that. The brothers, they are mostly chilled and laid back. Like the people that I roll with a lot of West Indians from the Caribbean. So there's something in the DNA that just makes them, for the most part, very chilled and calm. I wish I was that chilled. Maybe I gotta stop drinking caffeine, huh? Flat, but it tastes good. But Rob and I, we had dinner at Earl's. So if you're from Mississauga, you've probably been to Earl's at Square One. Took him downtown, and it was snowing. It was like the beginning of April, and it generally doesn't snow like it did then. And I think it was Rob's first time. He brought his son and his wife out here, and I think it was their first time seeing snow. So when I brought them to my place here, his son was having a ball on the balcony, just enjoying the snowfall because it was snowing rather hard. But I took him to Holt Renfrew, I took him to Hermes, Guerlain, all kinds of places. He really enjoyed himself. But Rob, I haven't been to San Diego, so definitely that's on the bucket list. Expect that trip in at least 2 years from now. The wife is into beach destinations, so you know what? You got good beaches there, and shit, you know, you got laid back and you got you. So Rob, when I met you, that really meant a lot to me. You were probably one of the coolest and calmest guys out there. One of the smoothest guys that I've met, and trust me, when I say this, I met 41 people. You are by far one of the smoothest and calmest guys that I've ever met. So really appreciate that, and I really appreciate your friendship. So everybody, this video is 21 minutes. I'm getting a little low on my pop here. Coke Zero, sugar free, but still full of caffeine. Yet I'm calm. Wow, normally that doesn't happen. Yeah, I'm really trying hard to be sophisticated, but it's not really working. So I'm just gonna end this video here. So a lot of you guys are probably didn't stay tuned for the entire video. That's normal, you know. What I'm gonna be doing is, this is gonna be a little bit of a series that, you know, this is my top 5 reviewers that I met the most, that meant the most to me. And I'm gonna do like classiest, funnest, you know, stuff like that. I definitely got a few topics here. Reviewers that I hope to meet that I haven't met yet. So stay tuned. Hopefully this video gets a lot of thumbs up, a lot of attention, because you know what? I really want to bring something different. I want to bring some good vibes. You know, like I find that we're too pessimistic at times and we're not positive enough. So we don't really show our feelings, we don't show our appreciations to a lot of the other guys out there. And that's what this video is. Alright, so I'm just going to end it here. All their channels will be linked down below, so make sure to check them out if you haven't done so, and if you're new to the community and you're just stumbling upon this ugly face. Yeah, I need to shave, so yeah, mind you, that's not gonna help you neither. So guys, that's it. Finally, I'm just gonna shut the hell up. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share the video, subscribe, and if you haven't, share this video, share some of the positivity out there. Alright guys, so stay tuned to more videos like this, and we'll see you later. Take care.